Hey, what's up guys? Houston here. And for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. Now, today's video is very interesting because we're going to talk about how to get an 800 credit score, right? And we're going to talk about how the fastest way you can get it, okay? We're going to talk about the fastest way you can get it, but you have to understand it's not just about an 800 credit score. As a matter of fact, because you have an 800 credit score, that doesn't mean that the banks are still going to get you the funding that you're looking for. So you have to understand that, because there are people that have like a 550 credit score and they're getting Lamborghinis, Mercedes-Benz. So in terms of thinking that, oh, all I need is an 800 credit score in order to get that luxury car or whatever, actually, that's not true. Here's the thing about it. Let's understand, okay? So you have an 800 credit score. I want you all to understand this. You have an 800 credit score, but you have low income, okay? You have low income. Another thing that's a factor, like I said, you have an 800 credit score, but here's another thing you have to consider. Since you have an 800 credit score, they're going to look at, you may have a high DTI, high debt to income ratio. So yeah, you have a high 800 credit score, but you have a high DTI. So that means that you don't have enough income to cover your bills, all right? So this is something. Or another thing is that you have a thin file, okay? A thin file. Now, here's something that people don't tell you. Oh, I got an 800 credit score. But I've seen people, and we work with clients that they didn't have no file, and we done put 2-3 trade lines on their credit score, and they jump up to almost an 850. But again, like I said, those was just AU, so they still have a thin file, right? Because there was no primaries on the file, and the file really hasn't been seasoned enough, right? So you're like, okay, well, how do I leverage an 800 credit score? Well, here's the thing about it, okay? If you want to focus on getting an 800 credit score and you're just starting out, here's what I would do, all right? First thing, I would probably get a college credit card. You know why? Because usually a college credit card is the easiest credit card to get. Okay, if you're not able to get a college credit card, then maybe a Cap One. Okay, so these are probably the two easiest if we're just talking about credit cards. Now, here's another thing that I would do. Even though I qualify for these two, I would still go to my favorite bank, and if I don't have strong enough credit, I would still get a secured. I would get a secured credit card and a secured loan. Now, you ask me, well, Houston, why would I do that when I already have got approved for a credit card? Okay, here's the thing about it. The more positive you have on your file, the easier it is for you to get approved for more, right? And so since this secured credit card as well as the secured loan, those are going to be reporting, okay? So you're thickening up the file. Remember, we talked about a thin file. This is how you thicken up your file, all right? Now, here's another thing. If I got a secured credit card, a secured loan, and I got a college credit card or Capital One, here's another thing that I would do, okay? I would still sign up for Experian Boost. Okay? I would sign up for these are the three companies I would sign up for to help me, okay? Experian Boost, then you have Perch. Okay? And these two are free. Experian Boost and Perch, these two are free because they're pulling in third-party data and they're starting to report it to your personal credit file. So this is actually helping you, okay? Because now the more data you have, the more positive trade lines you have on your credit, then the higher your credit score is going to be. But stick with me because I'm going to share a strategy with you. So now there's another company. It's called eCredible. Okay, now they charge, all right? They charge, but again, they're helping pulling in data to build up that credit file. So that's what you want. Now, also remember, like if you're renting an apartment or you're leasing, say that you're leasing a room from a family member or whatever, they can sign up for a program and have whatever rent you're paying them, they can report that to the credit bureaus. Okay, so that's something that I would definitely consider to leverage me to help build up my credit file if I have a thin credit file. Okay, now here's something that a lot of people don't know, and I've said this over the years. I've been in the credit industry long enough to know what works and what don't work. Now here's something, okay? Say that you got a college credit card, all right? And like I said, I'm gonna show you a few strategies, but this is very important. Say that you have a college credit card, okay? And say that that college credit card was $300. And say that you used $250, right? Now you only have $50 left, right? Okay. Here's what I would do. That $250 I owe, this here, I would make weekly payments. And I'm gonna tell you why, and most people don't know this, or if they know it, they won't share it, okay? And the reason that I would make weekly payments, because with your credit file updates between 3 to 4 times a month, okay? So not just that closing date, but like if they're reporting to each credit bureau, again, each credit bureau is picking up this data not at the same time, right? Because they're not picking up this data at the same time, that's the reason like you have your numbers fluctuating and stuff like that. So again, by you making those weekly payments, say that you're paying $50 a week every week, right? Okay, so that way as they update, guess what? Your DTI is going down and your credit score is going back up. That's the reason that you want to do the weekly. If you can afford to do the weekly, like on $250, they probably want you to pay like maybe $15 or something. But again, if I were you, if I can afford it, I would be paying like $50 a week, right? I would pay that $50 a week. And again, what it's doing is boosting up your credit score. So don't think it's just doing something, all right? Now, here's another thing. Like I told you about the secured loan. So if you need a secured loan, or say that you got an installment loan, okay? So say that you got a small installment loan. And that installment loan, say for, I don't know, just say it was $500, right? And it reports and stuff. Well, this is what I would do, okay? On that installment loan, this is what I would do, that $500, okay? I would take $450 of that installment loan, all right? I would take that amount out, leave the 50 in it. And again, I would still make small increment payments of maybe about $25 a week. All right. So by you using, or this is what I would do. You have $500 on a secured loan. That's just one strategy. So just stick with me, okay? So you have $500. What you can do is take out, instead of $450, say that you used say that you use $400 of it, right? So out of that $500. So what I would do, again, making small weekly payments, I'll pay $25. I would stretch it out. I would stretch it out to at least 6 months on that installment loan, okay? And again, what you're trying to do, the $500 they loan you on that installment loan, paying like most of this back on a weekly basis. Like I said, pay about $400, pay that $400 back. So that way you only have that $100, right? So on that $100, you're only going to be paying like maybe $10 to $15, right? And I would stretch it out like that. So that way you have that installment loan and 90% of that installment loan is paid off, right? And so you're just making those monthly payments on that. Because you have a low DTI, debt to income ratio on this, again, it's pushing up your credit score. Okay, so this is just a strategy that I want to show you all. Now, here's some other things that you need to do, again, to help you get to a 800 credit score. All right, and people are like, well, it's hard. No. It's not hard, but I'm going to tell you this. You worried about an 800 credit score? Guess what? Once you get about here, once you get here to here, okay, you're pretty much at the top of the tier anyway, right? So even like if you manage to get between a 740 and 750, you're still a prime candidate to be able to get the best interest rates on loans. So worrying about an 800 credit score, unless it's just something, an ego boost for you or whatever, I wouldn't make that my goal. But hey, if that's what your goal, if that's what you want as your goal, hey, go for it. I'm not knocking it. But at the same time, just remember, like, you being in the top of the 700 club, you're still going to get the same favorable terms. Now, like I said, credit score goes up to about 850, right? Now, here's something that you have to understand, and a lot of people are misconstruing. Like when they go to Credit Karma, they'll go to Credit Karma, and they may say, Credit Karma may say, oh, you have a 790, okay? But that's on Vantage, okay? Because that's a Vantage credit score, then on average, you're off between 50 to 80 points. 50 to 80 points. So, because again, Credit Karma is only pulling in so much data. They're not pulling in all the data points to actually show you what's going on with your credit score. So basically, this is speculation. I would say it's just speculation that you're possibly a 790. But in reality, I guarantee if you pull that versus your FICO, you're going to be between 50 to 80 points off. Okay? And that's the reason I tell people you have to be careful when using Credit Karma.